Hi, everybody, and welcome to day 99. It is 99 days of the 100 Days Python Programming Challenge. We've been doing this since the 1st of November 2024. And again, the entire videos from day 1 up to today, day 99, with the codes and even the practice questions are available in my YouTube playlist. So today is day 99. And today, let's do a rapid fire round questions, if that's what it is called, on Python. So today I would solve 10 questions. I went through the internet to try to find 10 questions that I could solve today. And today, let's solve 10 questions representing the 100 Days Python Programming Challenge. You do not want to miss tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video is going to be a celebration. My name is Fumi, and welcome to day 99 of the 100 Days Python Programming Challenge. One more day to go. Hi, everybody, and welcome to day 99. It's 99, and tomorrow is day 100. Since today is day 99, and we've been working for almost 100 days, I said, why not solve 10 problems? So I went on the internet and searched for 10 problems that we can solve. And I believe that these 10 problems touched on aspects that we discussed in the last 98 days. Today is day 99 of the 100 Days Python Programming Challenge. So, question number 1, we want to check for anagram. What's an anagram? We want to check if two words contains the same letters. So, for instance, we have the word listen and we have the word silent. If we check, it's just the same word rearranged to form another word. So the question said, write a function. So that's what we'll do. Let's have our function. So in our function, we'd have two arguments, our first string and our second string, because that's what we want to compare to see if they truly contain the same words. So I'd have my function dev is anagram, and then I have my string 1 and my string 2. So what do I now want to do? I want to take my both strings, I want to sort it alphabetical order, and then I want to compare that are they the same thing when they are sorted. And if they are the same, then I want to print out that, oh, it is true. I found an anagram. So I would use the sorted. And what am I sorting? First, my string 1. And then what am I checking? Is it equal to sorted? And what are we sorting? Our string 2. So this is just basically what we're doing, sorting both strings and comparing them. Are they exactly the same? And if they are exactly the same, I want to print out true. So then I'll call my function and taking in the two string that I want to check, silent and listen. And then when I run this, we get true, because if you look at silent and listen, they contain the same alphabet. LIS, we have LIS and TENENT. So this is our first question. A simple function to check if two words are anagram of each other. The second question, we want to find the second largest number in our string. So imagine in our list, we have a long list. We're not looking for the first largest, the greatest number. We're looking for the second. So, and the question is write a function. So I would have my function, and my function will take the argument list or whatever you want to call it. So it is my list that I'm going to be passing into this function, and then it's going to check through it to find the largest. But it's possible, because in list you can have duplicates in your list. So I want to get the unique element. So how do I do this? I convert it into a set, because with set you cannot get duplicates. Set is only going to contain unique elements. So convert it to a set and then convert my set to a list. So I would have my variable, which is going to be called unique list. And in my list, you see this is the argument that I passed is converting it to a set and converting it back to a list. So if I should have duplicates in my original list, when it gets to this unique list, there will be no more duplicates, because I've converted it to a set and then a list. So now that we have our unique list, what can we do? we can then sort it because we want to find the second largest. So we have unique lists. We don't even know if they are properly sorted or not. So we can what we can do is that we can sort it and we can sort it in descending order. So that means the highest value comes first, the second highest value comes second, and so on and so forth. So by sorting, we use unique list, which is our variable name, dot sort, and the reverse is true because we're sorting in descending order. So what then do I now want to do? Now my list are sorted in descending order and I want the second largest. I have a list. I don't know the number of elements I have in a list. In that list, I just know that I want to get the second largest. So I've removed my duplicate and then I've sorted it in descending order. So that means the element in my list on the first position would be the largest number, and the one in the second position would be the second largest number. So I want to get that in the second position, which will mean that that is in index 1. So I'm just going to return unique list of index 1. But then what if I have just one value in my list, because it's possible to just have one value in your list, then you don't have a second largest, you just have one. So I want to also put that condition that if the length is greater than 1, that is when it should return the index 1. But if it is not greater than 1, it should just return none. That means we don't have a second largest value. And now let's run our function. Let's call our function. Let's print out our second largest value in our list. So we see the second largest is 45 and we see we have 99, 99. So this part will remove the duplicate. So we'll just have 199 and then it will sort it and it will check and give us the element in the first index. And when I run this, you see we have 45. So this is how we're able to return the second largest number in our list. For number 3, we want to find the most frequent element in the list. We have a list and then we want to check which element occurs the most in our list, and we just want to return 1. So I'm going to import the counter. I believe we use the counter. So from collection, I'm going to import counter. And again, it says write a function. So I'm going to write a function. And from my counter, I want to use the most common the most common function to check in my list that I'll be given which item, which element occurs the most, which element is the most frequent item. So I would apply my counter to my list and then I would then call the most common and check for which is the most common in my list. And then when I print out the most frequent, we will then have the most frequent in the list. So I'm going to put my list in my print statement and in calling my function. So we can see that the most frequent is 1, and that's all we're doing. And then we get 1. So this is how I've been able to find the most frequent element in my list by using the counter and the most common. So number 4, I want to remove duplicates from my list. So I have a list. We're working with lists so far. So I want to remove duplicates while maintaining the order. So I do not want the order of my list to change. I just want to remove the duplicate and let it stay the same. So I would have a function because they said write a function. And then in my function, I would then have a new list that I will call unique list. And then I will now iterate through every item in my existing list and append it to my new list. So it's going to first check that does this item exist in the list? If it does not exist in the list, then it's going to append it. But if it does exist in the list, then it's going to ignore it. So that's also what I'm doing. I'm having a function and I'm having a for loop that is going through the item in my original list and appending it to my new list if it does not occur. So you see for item in my list, if item is not in unique list, then it appends it. But if it's in unique list, then it doesn't append it. So now if I print out my result, I would see that you see like that, the order stays the same. So you see we have 1, 2, the second 2 gets removed, and we have 3, 4, 5, 4, 4, then becomes 5. So the order stays the same and we're able to remove duplicates. So now Number five, we want to check if a given string contains every letter of the alphabet at least once. So we'd have a long string, we have 26 letters in an alphabet, and it's checking, does it contain every single item in our alphabet? And if it does contain it, we want to return that, oh, it's true, this is a pangram. And if it doesn't, we want to return false, that this is not a pangram. So first I will import string because I want to use the string ASCII. If you've watched some of the videos we've used it, I showed you the website and how you can use it. So I'll define a function, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to return a set, because set has to contain at least one. And then I would call the string dot ASCII lowercase, and then call, is it a subset of my set in lowercase? Let me show you. So this is basically what I'm doing. So I have my set, and in that set I have my string, and this is my lowercase, and it checking is a subset of my s. What is my s? It's here, also in lowercase. So checking the string that I'm using, it's checking, is it a subset of my all the alphabet. So this just gets all the alphabet for me in lowercase, and then checking if it is a subset of my string. So let's have a string that we know fully well contains the entire alphabet, the entire 26 alphabet, and that is the quick brown fox jumps over the lady's dog. So it converts this to lowercase, and then it gets the string lowercase, the string ASC to lowercase, and then it compares both. That is it a subset of it, and if it is a subset, it returns true. But then let's now check for something that we know doesn't contain all the alphabet. That is, for instance, hello world, or even just hello. It doesn't contain all the all the alphabet. So when I run this, you see we'll get false. So this is a simple way of checking, of using string and using the string lowercase. You can also use like uppercase. You should watch the video where we talked about this and I showed you the website. Number six, I want to implement a basic calculator. So I just want a function that takes two numbers, and then we have the operation. We are able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide and put the result. So I would have my function, and then my function will take three arguments. First, it will take the two numbers and then my operator, because see, we have it here, two numbers and the operator. So I would have my calculator function, and then I'll have a, b, and my operator. So my argument can then be like 5, 6, and the operator is plus. So that means I want to add 5 and 6 together. So then I would then have a bunch of if statements that if it is plus, I want to return a plus b. If it is minus, I want to return a minus b. If it is multiplication, a multiplied by b. And if it's division, I want to return a divided by b. But I want to check, because I did a divided by b, I want to check that is b equal to 0. If b is equal to 0, then I want to return the message that you cannot divide by 0. And then if my operator doesn't have the plus, minus, multiplication, and division, I want to return that it is an invalid operator. So in just my if statement, I already put checks in place. That is it divisible. If b is 0, cannot divide by 0. And if it's not plus, minus, multiplication, and division, I want to return that it is an invalid operation, because the question said we should just use plus, minus, multiplication, and division. So now let's call out a function on a bunch of operation. So when I run this, so you see 10, 5, 10, 5, our operator is plus. So it will check, is the operator equal to plus? Then it runs this. If it's division, then it runs that. So when I run this, you see, so 10 divided by 5, 2. And when we have 10, 0, cannot divide by 0. So now number seven, I want to sort a list of tuple by their custom key. So we have a list of tuples representing the students and their score. Let me show you how that would look like. So I want to write a function that will sort the list. I want to sort by the score. So you see, we have the score. This is 95, this 85, 95, 75, and 85. I want to sort the score in descending order, which means I want 95 to come first. And then I want to also check that if there are two students that have the same score, do we have that? We have Alice and David. Then I want to sort them alphabetical order. So I'm sorting the original sort is descending order by the score. If we now have a situation where there are two students or more than two students that have the same score, then I want to sort that particular set in alphabetical order. So then I will use my sorted function and I will use my lambda. So you see, this is my lambda. I'm using lambda of index 1. So this sorts the score in descending order. And then this sorts the score in ascending order, A to Z, if the scores are the same. So let's have our full function. Did you enjoy our Lambda Day video? So sorted, we have our student, these are our students, and then our key. What is our key? Our key is Alice, Bob, Charlie, and David. So we have sorted, and then we have our student, and then we have our lambda of x minus x of 1 and then x of 0. So this sorts the score in descending order, that is the highest score first, while this sorts the names in ascending order, that is A to Z, if the scores are the same. So then when we print out the sorted student and then we run this, we would have that Bob, who scored 95, comes first. Alice and David is then sorted in alphabetical order. And then we have Charlie at the final position. So next we go to regular expression. So write a function that takes a string and removes all this character. And it only keeps the alphanumerical character and space. So we'll import our regular expression. Did you watch the video on regular expression? You should. And then I would have my function that will take in a text, which will be my string. And then what the text would do, I would have a clean text. I will use my re.sub, and then I would have all the values that are clean, that are required. That is our alphanumeric characters and spaces. And then I would then return my text. So what it's doing is going to go through my input text and it's going to check if that text contains the alphanumerical character and space, and it's only going to return the alphanumerical character and space. Let me show you the function. So see, this is my function, remove special character. I have my clean text, I have my regular expression that we imported, dot sub, and it's going to check for match of this in my text. So I have hello world, so it's going to check H. H is in my alphanumerical character, E, L, O, and the rest. And when it gets to the comma, it checks. Comma is not an alphanumerical character. It's going to skip that. And it continues, it's going to skip this exclamation, it's going to skip this at, it's going to skip the dot, and it's going to skip the hash. So it's just going to replace it with an empty string that's going to remove them because it is not in my clean text. So I have my clean text is replacing it with an empty string, and then it returns my clean text. So when I run this, you see all my symbols have been removed. So you see the dot in between the 3 and the 9 has been removed. So this match everything between A to Z and numbers and space, while the empty string that you see here is what it replaces it with. And where is it performing this operation? It's performing it on our text. So this is the clean character. If the find character that is not clean, replaced by an empty string, and then we have our text. So then, number 9, we want to find the longest word in a sentence. So we have a very long word, and then we want to check the length of each item in our long sentence. We want to check the length, and we want to print the word that has the max length. So I have my function called the longest word, and what it's going to do is that it's going to split it and it's going to return the max word by the key of length. So it's going to check every single word in my sentence and check the length of every single word, and it's going to return the word that has the max length. So, for instance, this is my longest word and this is the sentence. So, it's going to check through every word in my sentence to find the one that has the longest word. And we see that multiple has the longest number of words, and it's going to return this, that this is the longest word in my sentence. And finally, let's find the intersection of two lists. So we have two lists. What do we mean by intersection? We want to find the entry, the element that is in list one that we can also find in list two. And this should remind you of sets because this is where we perform intersection. So I would have my function, and my function takes two arguments, my first list and my second list. And I'm going to convert it into a set, and I will use the at symbol. Remember the and symbol is what we use for intersection. So I'll first convert it to set, and then I'll find the intersection, and then I would convert it back to my list. So this is my set, this is my list one, and my list two. I convert them to set, and then I use the hand to find the intersection, and then I convert my results back to a list. And then when I print out my list, I would have my intersection, which will be 3 and 4. So this is how I've been able to find the intersection of two lists. So that is, I can say, 5 round of 10 questions representing like the 100 days. So I did like 10%. So that is it. This is day 99. And I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is the final day. We're going to have a party to celebrate. Tomorrow is day 100 of the 100 days Python programming challenge. See you tomorrow. That's it for this video. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, to share, and to leave a comment. And the link to the notebook that we worked on is available in my GitHub. Link is in the description. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you tomorrow.